Alright. I'm live on Instagram and YouTube. On my YouTube, Nice What, as well as Instagram, Nice What. Today we're gonna do a bit of an album review. Now, I'm not gonna play the whole album because I already listened to it. And if you wanna listen to the album, you can check it out on Bandcamp, as well as purchase the album. This album is created by Kem Yah. Okay. Kemyah. Let me send it to you actually, so that he knows we're live. Before we get into the album, here, wait, you know what? I'm thinking. Let me see if I can play a bit of the other one, Congo and Kinsey. Let me see. Where? My password. One sec. So yeah, this album is called Truth. And Kem decided to spill all the truth, okay? Oh, we have him live here. Let's go live. I'm also live on YouTube, just FYI. What the heck? Oh, there we go.
Yes, yes, well done.
How you doing? Peace to you.
Peace. I feel like I haven't seen you in so long. I don't remember the last time I seen you, you know?
So long. It's been a very long time, man.
I know, right?
How's it going with you?
Honestly, I can't complain, man, you know? That's been good to us, you know, so I'm not complaining. Obviously, you know, there's tribulations and trials, but they have not outweighed the good, you know, so not complaining. That's been really good, you know? How's your family doing? You know, we spoke, you're telling me some stuff was happening.
My life is good, family's good, always progressing, you know. There's been a few, I guess, hurdles that we had to go through, but right now it's pretty good, and we're just elevating in different ways right now. And yeah, like, I think, like people say throughout the lockdown, that those years flew by so quickly. I just know, like, within those years, there's been a lot of, I guess, awakenings in different ways, right? People have been, like, waking up to certain things about the world. And during that time, like, I woke up a lot to family and what it means in general, and the truth about connection. So it all connects with what we're doing here with your album. And I wanted to ask you about your album actually before we get into it, because I'm not gonna play the whole thing because I want people to actually click the link, click Bandcamp, make sure that they're checking it out, purchasing the album. It's great if you guys can support the album. But I did listen to it, and from what I could hear and what I could feel, it's definitely a type of activation. Like, some people may listen to it and feel, oh, he's controversial, and other people will be like, no, Kem Yah is saying some real things, some truth in this album, you know? And so, yeah, I wanted to ask, what was the activation or the initiation with this album? Because you have the I believe Congo Liberty and the Congo Inkinsi album, I believe I purchased a few years ago. Is it like a chapter 3 type of thing, or was it a whole different phase in general?
So essentially, this album is the conclusion or the final chapter of those two previous albums, right? So the first album I released was the Congo Kisi album, which I released it July 7th of 2024, right? And then on January 7th of 2025, I released the Bantu Liberty album, right? And then so this album Truth is the conclusion of this series, right? So this three album series or this three EP series, the series itself was called Congo Magic, and the purpose is to dive into that magic. What is that magic? What is that science? Where does it come from? What does it mean? Right? And what does it mean to me? And what does it look like to everybody else? Right? And how do I conceptualize this magic, this science in a musical way that can be digested, you know what I'm saying, from the perspective, again, of a Congolese guy who's been raised and grew up on this outside of jail. Like, how does that magic look like from his lens? You get what I'm saying? And so, I did my very best to ensure that I conveyed that as transparently as possible, as emotionally as possible too. I find that a lot of times when diving into topics of this nature, there lacks a true emotion. You know what I'm saying? A true, unfiltered, and unscripted emotion. You know what I mean? And so I wanted to make sure that my emotion was genuine. It wasn't scripted. It wasn't premeditated, but it was pure. It was raw. It was true, right? And then obviously, right, just making sure that my spirit was fully in it, right? Like in previous years making music, right? Like I started off making music in the hood, like most young Toronto guys, right? And like that transition from hood music, street music, and then I ended up going to prison. And when I came out of prison, I was like, I gotta give my life to God. It's the only thing that makes sense. And I don't have to go to church because it's God who saved me.
That's how we met.
Exactly.
And then they caught the tour, the gospel Christian touring
tour. Yeah. So I went through that phase of my life where, like, even in that realm, I found success. It was like there was nothing that was holding me back in that realm other than my personal convictions, where I was the doctrine, the religion was not sitting well with me. And I'm a very blunt individual for people who know me, right? So if shit don't sit well with me, I'm putting my hand up in the class, or I'm coming up to whoever the teacher is, like, yo, you said X, Y, Z, but I'm reading in this book, it doesn't add up, so can you explain that to me, right? And unfortunately, in that environment, that type of line of questioning, that type of openness is not welcomed. You know what I'm saying? Not with open arms, at least. And maybe it's changed now, right? I can't say it's still the same, but at that time it wasn't welcomed. It wasn't liked very much, right? And so that as an artist, as a growing artist, that obviously hindered me, because I'm in a place in my life at the time where I'm like, okay, I'm married, I have my wife, I have my children, and I strongly believe that at the time this belief system, this way of life is the only thing that makes sense. However, I'm still having convictions. So how am I going to make music? How am I going to share my voice about this particular system when I'm having convictions about it, right? And the environment I'm in is telling me you're not supposed to have convictions. Well, how am I supposed to grow? How am I supposed to evolve as an artist, right? So I ended up taking I think it was a 4-year hiatus, right? Like I just disappeared from the scene, from church, from that whole environment. Me and my wife bought a house out in northern Quebec and just never looked back, took the kids and cut, right? And just being out here in the wilderness and nature, right? And then, appreciating a lot of the teachings my grandmother's been trying to impose on me from young, that, when I was younger, it wasn't making sense and I wasn't trying to hear it because Jesus wasn't attached to it. You get what I'm saying? But as I got older and, separated myself from the city and I found myself out in the wilderness with my wife, like, my grandmother and I always had a very tight-knit relationship. She's my mother. She's who raised me, right? But, it got even stronger when I'm like, yo, this shit you're talking is some serious shit, Granny. Science ain't a game. Like, why wasn't it clicking before? Because your mind wasn't ready for it before, but you're ready for it now. So now we can really talk. Say, yeah. Now I want to pick your brain. Like, I don't want to leave your presence because I have so much questions. And And so, we built that relationship. She taught me so much, and she transitioned last year, and that transition also helped the building of this album. Right? So all the 3 albums I've put out, they all have 7 songs, right? Each song is representative of the 7 children my wife and I have, right? We now have our 8th child that just came into the mix, right? But prior to his birth, it's just me, my wife, and our 7. And so each song was representative of one of the children, representative of your chakras, right? And representative of the original. Like in Congo we call them the 7 powers. Across Africa we call them the 7 powers, right? But that's what the albums are supposed to reflect, activate, right? And essentially open your third eye, your heart, and your second mind too, right? When I say second mind, I'm referring to the brain, right? My grandmother's always taught me we have 3 minds, right? The brain, the heart, and the stomach, right? And so I try to make sure that also in this music that I'm targeting those 3 aspects of the mind, right? And not just one aspect of the mind. And so I'd like to say that I think I've done that, right? But we're still growing, we're still evolving, and there's so much more that we can learn and change and improve, right? And so, but yeah, this album was just the 3rd iteration of my life experiences from church up until now, from converting from Christianity. I won't say converting, but from leaving Christianity and returning to my roots, right? And to my true science, right? And that, as you said, those lockdown years were very crucial years, because it's in those years too that like the depth of my awakening started to blossom even more, right? Like I like to say a shift started happening from as early as 2012, but by the time we got into 2020, it really kicked into gear. You get what I'm saying? And then here we are today. We find ourselves here today, right? And yeah, that's kind of the gist of I guess the mindset behind going into the albums, right? And then yeah, as we got to truth was really like, okay, how do we conclude like what Congolese magic is, right? What does that mean? What is it? Well, my whole life I've known it to be truth. So okay, this album, the conclusion of Congolese magic is gonna be truth. So that you see, okay, Congolese magic is this. It brings forth unto liberty, right, which is the people, right, the people's liberty, right, and that people's liberty then exposes you to truth and what that truth is, right. And so I like to say that I think I've done that with this album, right, and when you listen to all 3, that's when it starts to make sense, right. But yeah, hopefully I answered your question without rambling too much.
Yeah, no, you did more than answer the questions. Thank you for sharing that. Peace and power to your granny, and peace and power to your family and your children and your wife. What you're doing is very meaningful and powerful, and again activating in so many ways, on a cellular level, on a physical level, on a worldly level. And I could personally say that I've witnessed bits of your evolution just by knowing you for at least a decade. Like, we haven't been consistently conversing and stuff, but I've known you and your wife since Christianity times, BC, before COVID, So yeah, peace and power to you at all times. And from when I known you, I already knew you were a powerful man, king. I already knew that, and I already knew you and your wife had a just distinctive purposes on what you had to do. Whether it was you touring in the church world and that parallel universe of being there, or you really realizing we need to transition into the roots, as you say, and I respect everything that you are doing when it comes to your roots, when it comes to telling the truth. And that's what happened when I listened to this album. There were parts that I felt like I understood, and then I also felt like people who might be hesitant to listen to this album should listen to the album, like, because what's going on in the world, free Congo, what's going on in the world has to
Facts.
do with the heart of the world,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
and the heart of the world is Congo, right? So,
Right.
um, and I don't want to. This isn't about me. However, it is Sickle Cell Awareness Month, and there are 40,000 babies born with sickle cell anemia in Congo every year.
Every year.
40,000 or more. Who knows what the statistic is now?
It's about
Um,
all of us. It's definitely still about you because even though you're here, we're here, right? Your blood, your spirit is Congolese. You know what I'm saying? You're Congolese by blood, by spirit, by soul. You know what I'm saying? Even if you're distant Congolese, even if you're Congolese via Jamaica or Canada or Brazil or Costa Rica, your blood is your blood, and that's what makes you the empress and goddess that you are because you're from this magical celestial place that is being overtaken, that is being infiltrated, that is being poisoned, that is being destroyed before our very eyes. You see what I'm saying? So, as you said, I think it's very important that those of us who are aware, we have to do something. You get what I'm saying? Whatever that something is, whatever you find that you've been inspired to do it. You know what I'm saying? Don't hold back, do it because the people need it. The nation needs it. The spirit needs it. You see what I'm saying? Like, look at Congo right now. Just yesterday, there was another massacre over there. Just yesterday. You know what I'm saying? Just yesterday. Mothers, fathers, children. I don't know, over 40 people dead in a small little village. You know what I'm saying? Because rebels are coming in to take natural resources and take what is essentially not theirs, right? And they're not even taking it for themselves, which is the fucked up part. They're taking it for powers that be that are in different places. You know what I'm saying? With much more nefarious agendas. You see what I mean? So those of us who have some type of understanding of this, we have to get on a platform. We have to get somewhere. We have to do something in order to at least balance the fight. You get what I'm saying? At the very least. You know what I'm saying? So if you're an artist and that's what you're called to do, use your voice to awaken, to ignite, to activate, you know what I'm saying? To revive, to resurrect. You know what I mean? If you're a poet, if you're a dancer, people like even dance, like my wife and my daughters have really taught me the power of dance. Right? I used to just see dance as a I found it a magnificent form of art, but I never once seen or thought to see the power in dance. Do you know what I'm saying? My wife had to sit me down like, bro, you're Congolese. I did not see the power in dance. We basically invented dance. I did not see the power in dance. Like rain dance, thunder dance, lightning dance, healing dance. Like these are all powerful forms of spiritual communication, right? I'm like, okay, my at the time I was just too narrow minded, right? Like as an artist you only see things from your particular lens sometimes, right? But you have to open up, right? And so just understanding that all these different forms of art are actually healing practices and they're spiritual forms of communication, right? You start to value them much more differently, right? And then you understand the necessity for these arts to have a platform. You see what I'm saying? And so again, those of us who are aware of what's going on, it's important that with the platforms we have and that we've been given, right, we master these platforms, right, and then use our platforms to, lack of a better word, take back the world. You see what I'm saying?
yeah, absolutely. Thank you for sharing that about dance, because it's so spiritual, you know, and
Yeah. Yes.
that's what our ancestors did. Like we would be able to call upon the rain for agriculture, or stop the rain, or bring on the thunder, or
Mm-hmm.
bring on that wind. Like all these things that a lot of us are activating right now and doing, and we
No,
don't even
yeah.
know. Like, you know,
Exactly.
the tsunamis, the earthquakes, the gusts of wind. Some of us are doing that right now, and
Mm-hmm.
in order to channel that, it would be through art, through sciences, and like my sister Omo told me, art is science. Um,
Absolutely.
so it all connects, And I want to say that with your album, I want to play a couple of songs. Again, I don't want to play the whole thing. I want people to really go to Bandcamp. You have a moment to stream it, purchase it when you can. Um, the album, I can, because I know all about pain. Um, Anyone watching later on, I have sickle cell anemia. I see it's sickle cell awareness month, so everything lines up. We didn't even plan this months ahead. This live, it just lines. It just really does
yeah,
align. And I can feel the pain, like the way you sing, the way you express yourself. There is a alchemization of pain into power, the way you express yourself, and I can hear that in the album. And this first song that I want to play is the first song on the album, called Truth.
yeah.
And first and foremost, shout out to the production. Like, all of it connects. Like the production, you can feel the activation, the songs, the voices, the features that you have on the album. It all is in sync with each other. And yeah, let's listen to this first one, called Truth, featuring Franchise. And yeah, let's take this one in.
You just hating cause I'm realer than you. My bitch better than your bitch and I got pictures to prove. And we so high up like we building a roof. I made millions out of nothing just from spilling my truth. Yeah, we still grinding like we got something to prove, even though we got nothing to prove. Took every risk cause we had nothing to lose. Making millions just spilling my truth. Spilling my truth. Spilling my truth.
Niggas thinking fortune and our legacy changes lives. Kings turn employees and that's when the whole fam died. Mamas on their own, teaching niggas just to survive. These are the sons of kings, made to lead men to guide. Mentally stay alive, traumas of ancestors. I think of when Sonny died. My nigga took his own life, promise that changed my life. Got me to change my mind, thinking about different times, all the planets they align. Renzeri to the moon, for the moment saddens mine. To my breath, it rewinds through the portals of divine. Re-enter creator's mind, same as when you enter mine. See that our life's intertwined, yeah. I'm growing but the block in me knows that 30 brings me peace. 2, I'm rolling 60 deep, got a family to keep. Congo will get Congo bleeds, cause how the fuck is a genocide happening quietly?
Cause I'm realer than you. My bitch better than your bitch and I got pictures to prove. And we so high up like we building a roof. I made millions out of nothing just from spilling my truth. Yeah, we still grinding like we got something to prove, even though we got nothing to prove. Took every risk cause we had nothing to lose. Making millions just spilling my truth. Spilling my truth. Spilling my truth.
Wanna know the truth? I ain't fuck away you niggas. When shit gets real, then it's poof, disappear. If it ain't God, then I ain't fair. Yeah, I wear my heart on my sleeve and I'm gonna wear. How I show you love, speaking bad on me, I hand on my ones figured out, trying to get my mind clear. Let my truth duck and dodge, snapping through the smoking mess. I just know it could be worse, still a real one's really there. Could be end, could be first, other mind someone there. Try holler bad, let me come smoke in the air. You could hate me, you could love me, you could rate me, still the real. I'm gon' so push, keep it coming, keep the faith come in abundance. I said riding around the bundles, I say I had to get it back. I said always keep it humble, always living on my truth. I ain't care about the judges, I ain't perfect, I'ma stumble. You ain't talk about that money, sounding like a nigga mumbling.
You just hating cause I'm realer than you. My bitch better than your bitch and I got pieces to prove. And we so high up like we building a roof. I made millions out of nothing just from spilling my truth. Yeah, we still grinding like we got something to prove, even though we got nothing to prove. Took every risk cause we had nothing to lose. Making millions just spilling my truth. Spilling my truth. Spilling my
Like, are you gonna just start the song? Are you gonna start the album with that banger, man? The strings, again, the emotion, like.
Yeah, that's a big tune. It's one of my favorite songs right now, for real.
Yeah, it really is a big tune, and it just starts the album off in such an amazing way, man. I want to play one more because again, this is just a review of what to to really take in you guys when people listen to this album. Like once this live drops, go to Kem Yah's link and check the album out. You get like two streams and then purchase the album and then check out the other albums because again they all link, and especially at a time like this when people probably have questions about the system. People have questions about their belief system. People maybe don't know where to go. Go to the heart. Like go to the heart of the world right now. You know, like um, I could say free. I could say free everybody else. However, right now on this Sunday, it's about Congo. You know, it's always gonna be about Congo. However, free Congo for real, and these type of sciences and art will help travel the sound to that place. You know, do what we can. So yeah.
Also, each one of my albums, when you purchase it, it comes with a PDF book, right? So the Congo Kisi book, the Congo Kisi album, sorry, comes with the Bantu Cosmology book. The Bantu Liberty album comes with myths and legends of the Bantu people, and then the Truth album comes with the 13 supreme truths and knowledge. Which again, once you purchase the album, the PDF comes with it. So each album comes with a book that is tied to the theme of the album.
Wow, that's beautiful. I didn't even know that. So not only do you get the album, you get some cosmic records with it too. You know, you get some knowledge with it as well. That's really beautiful. I would like to play one more. I honestly, I don't even. I'm gonna just go with the one because all of them are amazing. However, we're gonna go with the one because that one I was feeling as well. There's a couple of other tracks with strings in there as well, and it's just so beautiful. Like the production is very moving, y'all. Like I might need to do a little movement to some of these songs myself. So yeah, let's go with the one, and this one's featured Quentin Versetti. Versetti?
Yes. Yeah. Shout out my bro Quentin, amazing poet, sculptor. Just like he's doing so much in Toronto and with the diaspora. If you guys look up the Afro Sankofa movement, like that's my boy right there. That's cute. So just make sure you tap in with Quentin Versetti if you want to know what's going on with the diaspora in Canada. Right, and just African history in Canada, that's the brother to tap in with, So I was very glad that I could even get him on the album because he hasn't done poetry in so long, right? So like I kind of just like pulled him out of a shadow right there, because he's in a whole other world right now, right? And I'm just like, yo, kind of need you to come to this world just for a brief second, and then he could go back over there, And
I love
blessed
that.
me with an amazing poem, So
yeah.
Shout out to him.
I love the spoken word in this one. So this one is called The One, y'all. Check this one out.
They were trying to sell you God, I'm saying your God. Don't you see the facade? Don't you know you a star? Don't you know who you are? Bunch of people from far, you know just who we are, yeah. We was 9 deep in the car, yeah. Out of firepower from Mars, yeah. Two for me, two for her, headshots in a blur, 30 golden like her. Violence will occur if you disrespect her. No back and forth, no type on the net. Find the location and forward the set. While I'm out in the Audi driving through Quebec, everybody's so blessed around here. We ain't gotta flex every year's our year, every step's our year. Not a soul we fear, we made that clear. TCE league, Guzu at my feet, fucking I in me. I been awake, I ain't living the dream. These niggas asleep, these bitches is sheep. Wolves on my team, cause we playing for keeps. We ain't playing for free. That's how you go dumb, niggas already numb. So much shit that we've done, still live by the sun. Keeping my gun, I live by the sun, but I'm keeping my gun. Yeah. One of one, all of what to become. If I see on me, telling them I'm the one. Born in the hell, I can never get born. I like fire, I live in the sun. I like fire, I live in the sun. If I see on me, telling them I'm the one. Born in the hell, I can never get. One of one, love what I become. If I see on me, telling them I'm the one. Born in the hell, I can never get born. I like fire, I live in the sun. I like fire, I live in the sun. See on me, telling them I'm the one. I was born in the hell. Never get, I can never get. One of one, I love what I
So hop in. The future is here. We ain't got no time for you to make excuses for your weak ancestors. In fact, we ain't even got time for you to make excuses for being a weak ancestor. And if you think you have room for excuses, then you're clearly out of orbit. And that makes you not the one, but the second. And if that's true, then on this cosmic Bantu map, we ain't got space for you. And I ain't talking about binary star systems. I'm talking about primary decar rhythms. You know them ones? Congo prisms and Neoism. So are you the one to save your descendants like Harriet Tubman? Lay the foundation like Marcus Garvey, Bob Marley? Clear the path like Winnie Mandela, Ibrahim Traoré? Or are you one of those man them who are like soft-covered bookings, always flipping, flopping? See, we come from a space where we are the omniverse, no more's evolving. Around here, I'm the observant Negus empowering. Only needing earth seeds on noble elevations, out needling Euro education. Cause once niggas is embraced, then all we need to know is, are you ready to be the one originating new beings, experiences? So jump on in. The portal ain't always gonna be open.
Yo, cause you're speaking just real shit, man, in that one. And again, the ones where who will listen to this and feel a type of way, lean into that. Like, lean into why you might even feel a type of way. Maybe you've been lied to as well, and you're just and the truth is shaking you up a bit to open you up to see what you've been ignoring, or see what you haven't been opening your ears to hear, opening your eyes and eye to see. You know, your first eye is important just as much as these two eyes. Yeah, and I'm so excited for more. You know, I'm excited to even have you back, willing that you will. And is there anything else that you want to share, like any important messages or anything on your heart right now that you want to share on this live?
Truthfully, I know it's so easy to say, yo guys, go look up Congo, go see what's going on in Congo, but you know, I tend to find that the reality is people are not conditioned to care unless they find that it affects them directly, right? And so with that being said, you know, I try to tell people, well, it does affect you directly if you have a phone, right? Everybody has a phone, you use a phone. Without Congo, your phone is not plausible, right? You have a TV, you watch TV at home. Without Congo, no TV. You have a laptop. Without Congo, no laptop. You have a tablet. Without Congo, no tablet. You have an electric car. Without Congo, no electric car, right? So what's happening in Congo affects you directly. It's just you're not aware that it affects you directly. So I want people to become more aware of how Congo directly impacts them, right? And so if that is the message I want to share, you know, I know there's a lot going on in the world, and I know there's so much that we need to put our attention to. But again, how can you fix an ailment in the leg before treating the heart? How can you fix an ailment in the eye, the ear, the nose, the arm before you treat the heart? If the heart stops beating, that ailment doesn't matter. You're gonna be dead. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like your headache, your ear infection, your broken finger. It no matter if your heart stops. You see what I'm saying? So focus on the heart, right? Heal the heart, heal the body. You know what I'm saying? heal the heart, heal the world. Yeah, I mean, so the sooner that happens, and the sooner people are aware that the heart is bleeding, and it's not a stranger's heart, it's your heart. You get what I'm saying? The sooner people are aware that Congo is my heart, it is my heart. Okay, I need to heal my heart. What can I do to make sure that my heart is beating as it should, right? That the blood is flowing as it should, so that my breath is correct, right? Because our breath has been corrupted, right? And in order to free us from that corruption of our breath, we must heal our heart. You see what I'm saying? And so, if I have a message, that is the message. Focus on the heart. Be aware of how the corruption of the heart affects the entirety of your body, your spirit, and your soul. And do what you can the moment you are aware to fix that corrupted, broken heart. You get what I'm saying? Which in this case is Congo. So, yeah. that's what I gotta say.
Thank you so much, Kem Yah. Very,
It's
very
a
grateful
pleasure.
to have you here to say this.
Thank you for even having me up, sis. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I appreciate you. I appreciate your family. And again, peace and power to them at all times. Anytime you want to do a live to talk about anything else in depth, I'm always open to doing that, because this is Nice What, where we talk about important things. Some people might not mess with whatever I do on this platform. However, I chose to name it Nice What for a reason, because it's time to speak up about important topics, about even expressing yourself when it comes to real topics. And this one is top priority, because we all have technology and we all do have a phone. And like Kem Yah said, and many people are saying, without Congo, none of this would be happening. We would be having a cup with a string, okay? So, as long as we know that, then we can move forward and figure out what are the resources we have here to connect everywhere else, especially Congo. So thank you again. Shout out to C7 in the comments. And anyone else who is coming out to this live, support the live, share it as I post it, share it with your friends, your family, share Kem Yah's album, download it, purchase it. And I'll see you on the next time on Nice What. Follow Kem Yah for more updates as he progresses in his artist journey, science journey, and evolution as well. But yeah, thank you again, Kem Yah.
Thank you very much, sis.
Peace to you.
Always thank you. Love, sis.
Love.